Join me, Bex from the Wide Boot Company, as I take my horse Il Forbio to the Iberian Performance Spring Show, and we have a look at how I get my jacket put together. I'm really excited. I'm just going for my jacket fitting for my Alta Escuela jacket. A lovely lady is making it for me, and I'm going to hand embroider it myself, or with some help from my sister-in-law. So yeah, this is the first fitting I've had, so let's see whether it's looking what it should look like. I gave the seamstress an old jacket that I'd pinned to show her the shape, and she used that as a template, and she'd done such a great job. We then went away on holiday and she worked on it while we were away. Oh, and I had a haircut. Exciting times. I've come to pick up my finished jacket. Well, not finished because I've got to do the embroidery, but yeah, the finished actual jacket. So I'm really excited to go and see what it looks like. Wow, I can't believe what an amazing job she's done, and she only charged me £120 to do the waistcoat and the jacket, and I just bought the fabric. Guess what? It's raining again, and I've done my entries for the Iberian Performance Spring Show. I put it off until the last minute because I'm not feeling very enthusiastic about the whole idea, because my field is just like a bog, my horse looks like a bog brush, and you know, the Iberian Performance Show tends to attract quite a lot of professional people that have nice yards with hoses and stuff. So, you know, when I've got to wade through flood water just to get out of my field into the horse box, it kind of puts you at a little bit of a disadvantage, and I couldn't afford to pay for stabling this year, so normally I go the night before and stable him, and then I give him a bit of a wash over when I'm there, but couldn't afford to do that this year, so yeah, it's just gonna have to go how it goes. Anyway, I had a look at the tests, and also because I've had this op, and sometimes I really struggle to leave the house in the mornings because it's quite difficult, and I can't always leave when I plan to because I'm stuck in the bathroom, which isn't great. So I've decided to enter the most difficult tests because they're going to be later in the day. So we've entered Sevilla for the MCI, which is the same test that I did last year that, you know, we never did particularly well at. And I've entered the medium test, which I've never done before. I've looked at the floor plan, and yeah, let's just say it's going to be interesting because there's quite a lot of simple changes which we are rubbish at. He always goes hollow through them, or just like doesn't come back to walk and just barges through. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. And I'm also halfway through sewing my new jacket, so I'm doing the embroidery. The lovely lady made it for me, and I'm just doing the embroidery, but you know, there's a hell of a lot of embroidery to do. So I'm about, I don't know, a quarter of the way through, and I've got now just over a week to finish it. And you know, the open parade class, I don't know whether I'm really going to want to do it when I get there, because it depends on how he behaves. So if he's in a calm mood, I will get on him and do it, but if not, I'll just withdraw or try and swap to the ridden gelding class, because yeah, riding without a proper hat on if he's not in a nice sensible mood is not a good idea, obviously. So yes, mixed feelings about going, but I really wanted to go and see my friends, and I like to support the show because it's always a very nice show. So yeah, there we go, let's see what happens. So this was the first run through of medium 63. It actually went surprisingly well. So this is the half pass onto the centre line, and then back round to the right, and some of the shoulder in down the long side. And the medium trot across the diagonal, that was pretty good. And this is the walk pirouette. It's like a quarter pirouette across the short side. And then this is the canter half pass. And our nemesis, the simple change. But he did it with not too much jog trotting in between. We haven't quite sussed the no jog trotting, but we are getting better. And that's the other half pass from the bottom. And then the other simple change section. So again, that's not bad for us. You know, we really struggle with the simple changes, so I was pleased with that, and we got the correct leads. So all in all, I felt quite positive after riding the test too. A little bit shifty on the old final halt there. Okay, so it was a very late night. I was up till 3 in the morning sewing my jacket. I've still got hours and hours more of embroidery to do, but it is looking good, so I'm happy about that. I am slightly concerned about Sunday because I entered the medium hoping it was going to be later in the day, but because they've had low entries for the BD, it's actually going to be a 9:22 test, which is really not ideal for various reasons. One being that my friend who's calling for me is not going to be there that early. I also am really going to struggle to get there that early because we've got a 2-hour journey, and I really struggle in the mornings because of my health issues, and especially since I had my hospital thing a few weeks ago. So it's very hit and miss as to whether I can actually leave the house in the morning when I want to. So yeah, that's not great, but anyway, we'll have to just get up super early and try and deal with that. And he's going to have a bath on Thursday when I take him to Amber's for my lesson. So she's kindly letting me do that, but he's then got to stay clean until Sunday. Obviously the field is completely muddy, and I'm going to have to plait him the night before, I think, just to try and save time on Sunday morning. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. The other thing that really made me laugh was that I looked at the MCI entries, which is the other class I'm doing, and I recognised most of the names, not all of them, but yeah, the ones I recognised, they are pretty much all professional riders. So they're all professional dressage or display riders or Iberian horse producers. Yeah, so there's little old me dragging my horse out of the muddy field, and we're going to join in. So yeah, we'll give it a crack, see what happens. Not expecting anything much of that, obviously. The other exciting news is my FedEx delivery, only 3 out of 4 boxes, but that's better than nothing. The other one is it has been sent randomly somewhere else, so it's on its way to me, hopefully. But yes, I've got 3 out of 4 boxes of my custom colour boots, so I'm very excited. I'm going to go home and open those now, get some pickies for the Facebook page and everything, and then get them sent out to the customers. I'm trying to get to my lesson. I've booked a lesson with Claire, who's got a 20x60 arena, to try and run through my MCI test for this weekend, and I'm now late because of temporary traffic lights, and Elf is getting very fractious in the back because he hates standing still on the lorry. So yeah, but it looks like the traffic lights are broken again. They were broken at the weekend, so they're out of sync, so there's a massive queue of traffic. So I've been stuck in that, which isn't ideal, and it's really windy, so hopefully it's going to be okay because there's a lot of trees overhanging the arena, which isn't ideal either in strong wind. But there we go, needs must. I have to grab every single moment of time that I can when I can arrange it. It's so hard without your own arena when the weather's like this, because it's not like when you've got your own yard you can be like, oh, you know, the weather looks better later on, I'll just ride later. I don't have that option. When I've organised something, I just have to go and do it. So it means we have to ride in whatever conditions things throw at us. So it's not so windy that I'm worried about being in the lorry, you know, and it's covered roads, so I'm not in open motorways where you're likely to get blown across. But yeah, it is windy, so we'll see how it goes. But I haven't ridden through this test for a year, so it's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, that was an interesting session. So I didn't get any video, it was so windy, it wasn't you know, great. So Claire was really helpful. We did work through lots of elements of the test. I did manage to ride through the whole test once, but the problem with the arena there is it's surrounded by bushes, and he was fine on 3 sides of it, but the bottom side where the bushes haven't been trimmed and they're like wavy fronds, we just had so many massive gusts of wind that were like making the bushes fly around. He was like, no, don't like that end, which made it quite difficult obviously to ride through the full test. I did manage it, and bless him, I was like, come on, we're going, get in that corner, you know, go where you're meant to go. And he was like, no, I don't want to. It's like, you're gonna have to. Okay, I'll do it. So yes, but it wasn't obviously the most relaxed atmosphere, and I did just check the wind gusts, and it says it's between 22 and 38 mile an hour gusts of wind today, so it's not surprising he was not really that keen. But anyway, yeah, standard show prep for us, I think. Crap weather, you know, things not going to plan, running late, not ready, yeah, standard Bex and Elfie. So we'll see how we go. So I've just got all the Alta Escuela tack out because I really think I ought to take it to Amber's and try and just have a quick sit on him in it. I've not actually ridden him in these yet because I had them adjusted right at the end of the season to have this panel added in by my very clever saddler friend, Chrissy Radford. She's amazing for little things like that. So because of my joints and I find it very difficult to bend in awkward positions without my back going out. So we've added that hidden zip inside, and it's just going to make it so much easier to put on, because the normal way to do them up is this. You have to thread them into each other and then do this button at the top. So it is laborious. So yeah, and I've also got the boots that my friend sold me very cheaply as well. These are the proper Spanish boots that should go with the outfit. So previously I was just wearing my Wide Boot Company Alta wax Spanish long boots, which isn't quite correct. It should be the short boots in the chap. And then I've got the bridle there and the breastplate, the saddle with the crupper, and the saddle pad that goes with it, and the scarf is already attached to the front of the saddle there. So I'm going to pop that in the lorry, and hopefully we will have a little go in that before we go off to the show on Sunday. So it's Thursday today. I also need to rerun through my dressage test, so I'll probably put him in his normal saddle first and then just do sort of half the lesson in that, and then we'll swap him over into this quickly, and just do 5 minutes at the end wearing this just to get him used to it and make sure he's not bothered by those tassels flipping around or anything. So yeah, oh, the jacket, it's an absolute mess in here. That there's bits of thread all over the floor and bits of paper where I've been cutting my templates out. But this is how far I've got with the jacket. It's been, God, it has taken forever. I mean, just these pockets, just each one of those took me about 8 hours. So it's been a real laborious task, and I am really fed up of embroidery now. But I've just got this bit to do, and then the sleeves. I don't know whether I'm going to get time to do the sleeves before the show, but anyway, I just want to get at least this bit filled in, and yeah, I'll try and do this little zigzag pattern around the sleeves if I get time. Right, I've done a quick tack up. Well, I say quick, it still took ages. I couldn't remember how to put it all together, and also couldn't remember, I forgot to put the breastplate on, which meant we had to start the girth from the beginning again. But anyway, I'm just going to pass this to Amber. So I've actually nearly finished my jacket. That is what's not finished. And the sleeves. But other than that, I mean, as long as I get that other side done before the show, it'll be fine to ride it. So yeah, right. And I've also got these new chaps that have got the swishies. So it'll be interesting to see what he makes of those. Anyway. Do you like this outfit, Elsie? You like it? Yeah. I mean, maybe he finds the bridle kind of soothing. Yeah. With his mascara swinging side to side.
He likes it.
Like rhythm beats. Well, his head's not terribly clean, but the rest of him is looking a little better. So I'm not going to hang around too long because he's a bit cold. So yeah, put his drying rug on, get him home, and hopefully he'll stay cleanish till Sunday. Finally, it is finished. It has taken me, I don't even want to count how many hours. I have watched pretty much the entire Sex and the City box set for every series whilst doing this, so many hours. The only thing I am going to add to it is I'm going to put a little bit more floral scrolling like this up the inside of this sleeve, seam just up there, but I haven't got time to finish that now, but it's done enough. It looks fine for the show ring tomorrow. So yeah, cutting it fine, but it's done. Yay! Right, I've finally finished this blooming jacket. So yeah, here we go, the sleeves I've just finished. I've finished the back, which is that was the big bit to do. So yeah, just put my katita on and tried on. I've got my husband's shirt because I realised I didn't have a shirt with a normal collar, and also I made this very floofy like a cravat sort of thing last night. That was another last minute put together job. So anyway, I'm quite pleased with how it's all turned out. Doing it on a budget, I think I've saved myself probably about £1,000 at least on this costume, just by doing second hand and hand making a lot of it myself. So anyway, let's see how we get on tomorrow. I'm really excited actually to go and ride in it now. The day before the show. Oh, right, so Erin has been up the field. We've done some lorry loading. It's very muddy. I'm not putting him in the shelter because it's boggy in there. So we've tied him to the fence. He's actually not been too bad, and we've done his plats. So he's going to have to stay in these overnight because I have got to go for a family meal at a ridiculously early time today. So yeah, his plats are not great, but they're going to be enough for him to do his dressage tomorrow morning when we get there. And then I've got a couple of hours after the dressage tests to then tidy him up and to put his proper fake plats in where he's missing a bit of mane. So yeah, but he's been pretty good. The day of the show, 5:30 a.m. alarm. Right, it's really early. The sun's just come up. Elf's having his breakfast and I'm just about to take him out of his rug that he was in overnight. But his plats do roughly seem to have stayed in. They're a bit messy, but they'll should be okay. So yeah, good boy Elf for keeping those in. Because it was so early, the roads were really clear, so we made it there in an hour and a half. Then I had my medium 63 test first. He'd warmed up really nicely, but when we went into the ring, we didn't get a chance to go around the outside of the arena. We just had to warm up at the short end. And he took a massive dislike to the judges' box. Anyway, we got a 5.5 for that first halt. And the turn right here at the end with the comment, not fully attentive. Yep. This shoulder in, we scored a 3. With the comment, very little shoulder in shown, unsteady to the bit. I thought that was a little bit harsh, but there we go. Half pass to the right coming up between K and E, leaving the track, and then yeah, joining to the centre line in the half pass. So we've got a 5.5 for this one, with a comment needing a better connection for better positioning. Then he had a real strop at the judges box here. It was very shiny, the windows, so I think he just couldn't really see the people inside very well and took exception. Change rein in medium trot, we got a 6.5 with a comment, a little more power. I should also say a big thank you to my friend Julie for calling for me. She did a great job. Then we had the other shoulder in down this long side, and we scored a 4 for this. It said hollowing, very little angle. And then it's the half pass. Again, he's having another look at the judges' box as we go past. Not helpful to set up for the half pass. Anyway, so the half pass. And we scored a 5 for that. It said hollow and lacking bend in the rib cage. Then change rein in medium trot. We've got a 6.5 for this. Promising steps, hollow near H, pity. It wasn't ideal having to come back to the walk there by the judges' box, but anyway, it wasn't too bad. Then we had the quarter pirouette to the right, proceed to H and turn left with the comment more fluency at M. Then it was the next quarter pirouette to the left, and we got a 4 with the comment quarters in before E. Too many steps to make the turn. Don't quite understand that, but anyway. Then a 5 for the collected walk, sort of collective marks, which with the comment rhythm and relaxation. Then we had the extended walk and half circle right 20 meters. We got a 6.5 for this. This was a double mark. So yeah, the comment there was a little more stretching. Actually, I think he was quite good in that. You know, he's not always terribly relaxed, but yeah, not too bad. I was slightly dreading having to do the transition to canter in front of the judge's box here, because I knew he was going to be difficult to get straight because he was too busy looking at the shiny window. So yes, that wasn't ideal. We got a 5 for that with the comment hollow, not straight. Then straight into the medium canter up the long side. We got a 6, needs more power and straightness. Then as we come out of this corner, it's into the half pass to G. We got the comment mark 5 and the comment half pass positioning not clear. Then we're coming up to the 2 half circles with the simple change in the middle. So we got a 5.5 for this with the comment hollow, not direct to walk. Which is true, but for us actually that was about as good as it gets at the moment. Then we're coming up to the next medium canter along the long side. We got a 5.5 for that with the comment straighter, a longer frame, more ground cover. And then this next half pass, we got a 2. And the comment there was no real half pass shown, apparently. And then we're back into the serpentine shape with the simple change in the middle. We got a 6.5 for that with the comment more balance to walk, straightness. And then it's a collected canter, past the judge's box and then back to trot. And it's a collected trot with a half circle left, 10 meters diameter to X, down the center line. So we've got a 5.5 for that with the comment hollow at H, not straight before E. And then halt immobility salute. We got a 6 with a comment not quite straight, a little above the bit. Collectors, we got a 6.5 for paces, a 6 for impulsion, 5.5 for submission and a 6 for rider's position and seat, with the comment not fully on the aids or in front of you today, so connection varied and lateral work lacking clear positioning. So there we have it. The final score for that was 54.83, pretty much to be expected, I suppose, with all the spooking. Then I was so happy I got to meet Susie. Susie actually owns Il Forbio's half brother, who is also called Euphorbio. So yeah, we've got half brother horses, which is quite cool, and we've always chatted a lot, but we've never actually met in person. So it was so nice of her to come along, and she was really supportive and helped film my warm up for me and just gave me lots of positive energy before I went into the ring. He warmed up really nicely. He was very relaxed. I felt confident that he was not spooking. He was very happy with everything here, so it was certainly seeming like he's matured a little bit in terms of being around other horses compared to last year when we had a fairly disastrous warm-up and test. The arena surface rode really nicely as well, so I think they'd watered it. But yeah, he loves this kind of sandy, fairly firm surface. He doesn't like the very sort of springy surfaces. But yeah, look at him, he's just being a good boy, just getting on with it. And I felt like I could really let the reins out and let him try and drop down into the contact a bit and relax. That's the key now, just getting the relaxation. So I actually ended up with 2 videos of this test because my husband did one from the centerline end and Susie did one from the other angle, so I thought I'd put them both on there. So we got a 6 for that first halt and centerline with the comment straight but hollowing. And thanks again to Julie for calling this test as well for me. It really helps to have somebody that can call well, especially when you've not had the chance to practice very much. So the next movement is the shoulder in here. We got a 6 for this with the comment more engagement. Then change the rein in medium trot. We got a 6, push through from behind over supple back. Then at the end here we have a half 10-meter circle into the half pass off the centre line. We got a 5 for this with the comment quarters leading at start. Needs more engagement. That mark also included the working trot section here. So yeah, so that was a 6 for all of that. Then we get the medium walk section with a half turn on the haunches to the left, 2 meters in diameter, join the track by an oblique. So basically it's a large walk pirouette. We got a 6.5 for that with the comment supple to bend, fair steps, needs more suppleness through body. Then HCM is working trot. And we got a 6.5 for that with the comment regular but unsteady contact. Then we have the next shoulder in between M and R. We got a 6 for that with the comment fair positioning above bit. Change the rein in medium trot, followed by the working trot between V and K. We got a 6.5 with the comment needs to push from behind. Then the half 10-meter circle onto the centre line and into the half pass to the left. We got a 5.5 for that with the comment more suppleness to bend and engagement to hind quarters. Then between M and R, we go into medium walk and prepare for the next turn on the haunches to the right. So again, it's meant to be 2 meters in diameter and joining the track by an oblique. And we got a 6 for this with the comment lost rhythm towards end. Then we have a turn left between M and H. That should have just been a sort of normal left-hand turn. He does anticipate it and think that it's, another pirouette. And then turn left to H. So we got 6.5 for that. Fairly supple transition, but opening mouth. And then H, S, P, extended walk. And at P to F, medium walk. We scored a 6 with the comment needs more swing, suppleness of back, stretching to contact for more GC. Can't read that. And then at F, it's working canter right. And FAK working canter. We got a 6.5 for that with the comment more engagement. Then between K and V and P, we have this medium canter around the half circle. We got a 6.5 for that with the comment needs clearer transition. PFAK was working canter. We got a 7 for that. I was pleased with that. KB, change the rein in working canter with a simple change of leg over L. We got a 6 for that. Hollowing needs more direct to walk. Yep, we know that. That's always a problem. B to M, straighten the canter, and MCH, working canter, we got a 7. H to S, medium canter, and then the next half circle in medium canter, we got a 6.5 with needs clearer, transition back. Then it's the working canter, which we got a 6.5, more suppleness over back. And then we got the change of the rein over the centre line there again with the 5 and resisting in transition to walk. He was very resistant in that and chucked his head up, which was annoying. Then we got a 6.5 for the straighten and working canter, and then A down the centre line, transition to working trot, we got a 6 with comment hollowing but straight, and then our working trot to halt, we got a 7. So yeah, not bad. I was pretty pleased with that. I think one of the best medium tests we've done for sure. So in terms of the collectives, we got 7 for paces, 6.5 for impulsion, 6 for submission, and a 6.5 rider position and seat. Final judge's comment was, great pair, obedient horse, regular paces, just needs to develop more engagement of quarters over supple back into elastic contact for more self-carriage. Lots of positive work. So I was really chuffed about that. Really nice comment. The final mark was 62.5%, and I wasn't that far behind some of the pro riders that were in our class, so I was really chuffed with that. So I've had to load Elf back in just because there is so much grass here and he is kind of towing me around to get to the grass, which is fine because obviously we don't have a lot of grass at home, but I don't want him to eat too much. But actually he did so good. He's just been sat in the lorry eating his hay and been very quiet and good. So I'm very pleased with him because we would never have achieved that a year or 2 ago. So yes, you've been a very good boy, aren't you, Elfie? Need to replat you in a minute. Do proper plats, nice plats. Yeah. So he was very good and let me replat him stood in the lorry, which made it much easier than him trying to tow off to the grass. And Susie helped to hold him as well while I tacked up, which was really handy. And then, yeah, went into the open parade class. This was quite a busy class and it had a lot of professionals in it. But I kept it kind of quiet with him at first, just walked him a little bit first just to get our bearings, and he was really good. So then we, you know, upped the speed a little bit and got into some trot, and then eventually we made it into canter, and by that point we were really loving it. So the idea of the class is to try and catch the judge's eye by, you know, doing some showing off, really. That's the whole point of a parade. So you want to try and ride in front of the judge as much as possible and show off your horse's best moves. He did so well. You can see he chucks his head up a few times when horses come towards him or he gets a little bit sandwiched. I mean, we did get properly sandwiched a couple of times and had nowhere to go. And a few times we got really cut up as well. So that's when he loses the rhythm and chucks his head up a bit, when he's worried that another horse is, you know, so close to him. But he dealt with it all really, really well. I was very proud of him, and it was, you know, definitely our best parade class we've done. You definitely need to ride quite positively and bravely to this and keep your wits about you, so, you know, you're ready to stop or change direction at a moment's notice if you need to. This lady in the side saddle looked absolutely beautiful. Really love that costume. So as you can see, there's some very high level horses here. The black one coming around there has won Royal Windsor before, so yeah, it's a very high standard. I think pretty much all of these horses are Lusitanos actually. So there we are, zooming past. Finally got it up into a proper canter and managed to get a bit of forward speed going, which was really good, and a bit of canter leg yield there. We did try for a few steps of baby PF a couple of times. I don't know if we got those on video. And yeah, back off into canter again. And yeah, he was having a great time. But I never felt like he was going to take off with me. Actually, that was another thing, because, you know, sometimes he can get a little bit strong in these classes and a bit hyped up by other horses, but he was very, very good. So that's called Spanish Walk. That's what I have been trying to teach Elf, but we can't do it as nicely and fluidly as that, unfortunately. But we are working on it. So by this point we were both just absolutely loving it, zooming around all over the place, and I was really wishing that I could do flying changes on him because it would be so useful in this class. But anyway, we still managed to zoom around everybody using counter where we needed to, and yeah, it was just great fun. We actually had Gypsy King's music playing in the background, so I've had to edit that out because of copyright, but I was singing away to him because we love listening to Gypsy Kings when we ride in the field at home, so he's very familiar with that music and probably helped settle him a bit as well. This is where I tried asking for a couple of steps of Spanish Walk, but he was like, not today, Mum, not today. Oh, look at him. I was so proud of him. Such a good boy. And I was super pleased to get pulled in 4th. Yay!
In 3rd place, we have number 242, Mina, owned.
So I left the go round to the pros and went out because I didn't want to push my luck, and he'd been so good. So yeah, that was us in the background there walking out, and everybody else doing their lap of honour. And my husband got this lovely photo of him, so I was really pleased with that. I'm doing what Susie called an elfie selfie, and a picture of him with his rosette by his saddle, and at home with both of his rosettes. So it's the day after the show. I've rushed down to the field because I woke up relatively early and then realised everyone on Facebook was moaning that this bad weather was coming in and it was meant to be dry this week. So I managed to rush down and get the girls' rugs back on before it properly tipped it down, so that's good. And yeah, I just rewatched our second test video of yesterday, and I'm so happy with how it went yesterday. Obviously the first test was a bit of a pain because he warmed up so nicely and he was really relaxed, and then he just did not like that judge's box, and we didn't get a chance to have a ride around the actual arena before the judge rang the bell. No one really seemed to know if I was allowed to go in, and you couldn't go around the outside of the arena because of the boards and stuff, how it had been laid out. You just couldn't get around the outside, so he didn't have a chance to go past the judge's box before we started the test, which was the big problem. And then obviously as soon as he went down the centre line and saw the shiny windows and people in there, he was just like, no, not going near there. So it's a shame, but anyway, I think that judge marked a very low for the other lady as well, so that made me feel a bit better. It's a shame because had he not been doing the spooking, I think we would have won that class, but there we go. That's how it goes, doesn't it, some days. And then the second test, I was just so chuffed with him. I think all I wanted to do was emulate some of the training and the relaxation that we're starting to get at home, and we really did. Bits of the test came together really nicely. There was much less tension and silliness, or spooking at things or looking at things and backing off. He just got on with the job a lot better, so that really helped me to be able to ride him better. And yeah, we didn't get any incorrect canter leads, and the only dodgy bit on both tests really were the simple changes weren't great, and we need to get a bit more flexion or flexibility through the rib cage in the half passes, because he's a little bit stiff in those. But considering we've got no arena and I don't get a lot of chance to ride through these things at Tross and Canter, we're doing okay. So it's just slow progress, but we'll get there. So yes, super proud of him. And then to go into the parade class, he was a bit of a fidget to get on because he wasn't happy standing still down at the bottom where the mounting block was, because I needed to use the big mounting block, not my small one that I had brought with me, because that saddle is quite difficult to get into. So thank you Jenny Winterleach and her friend who was grooming, and Pete and Susie. Between us, we managed to move the mounting block out somewhere that he was happier to stand without a marquee and people talking inside it behind him. So we got on, and as soon as I got on, he was absolutely fine. We went up to the arena and he was so good. We got sandwiched, we got ridden into the boards. A couple of times I had to abruptly stop from a trot or canter because somebody just would ride in front of me, but he coped so brilliantly with it. The worst he did was when someone's big stallion came up right close behind his hindquarters, he put his ears back, but he didn't kick, he didn't do anything, he just he was fine. As soon as it had gone past, he relaxed again. So I'm so thrilled with him and how he behaved in that class. We just managed to zoom around and do lots more canter than usual. So yes, all in all, I'm very happy, and I think he was a really good boy. He wasn't quite as clean as I would have liked, but it's too difficult with the facilities I have with a grey horse to get him any better than he was really. He's got so much mud up around his ears and the top of his neck where his rug doesn't cover, and because of my fencing I refuse to put a hood with eyes on him, because it's just not fair with the barbed wire in case he gets caught. And the same with his tail, I don't want to use a tail bag in case it gets snagged on the fence. So that is how it is. He just has to we have to deal with our facilities, don't we? So I think to go in to a class like that with such high-end horses and to come fourth, I was really happy with that. So yeah, anyway, huge thank you to everybody who helped me, and I hope you really enjoyed the vlog, and I hope if you've got an Iberian horse it's inspired you to maybe have a go yourself. And so it is possible to do it on a budget, and just have to be a bit creative. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch up with you soon. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Here's Ollie Pops in the lorry with Pete. You can see how muddy my parking is just by the amount of mud up the step there. Hideous. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. See you soon.